Station 2. What is the solution to the systems of equation below? 2x minus 3y equals 9 and y equals negative 2x plus 9. So the first thing that I'm seeing here is that this top equation is written in standard form, right? Standard form. And this bottom one here is written in slope intercept. Right? Y equals mx plus b, right? And standard form, remember, is ax plus, but this here has plus or minus, right? Ax plus by equals c. Anyways, I'm seeing we've got one of each different type of form. When I look back at my unit organizer, right, it reminds me that when we get one of each kind, we're going to use the substitution method to help us solve this. Because what we know for certain here, we don't know a lot yet, right? It's a little scary, a little overwhelming, but what we know is we know what y is equal to. Y is equal to this, right? Y equals negative 2x plus 9. So why don't we change this y here to what we know that it's equal to, and then instead of having two letters and two variables, right, we just have an x. We'll have just x and we'll be able to solve this through. So I'm gonna start by rewriting the top equation, right? So 2x minus 3y equals 9. Right? Let me grab this pen, right? We know what y equals, right? Y equals this. I'm gonna change this y right here to all of this. So we have, I'm going to rewrite everything else, so nothing else is changing it. 2x minus 3y's, right? 3 y's are here. Y, though, is negative 2x plus 9. And all of that together is going to be equal to 9, right? So now we can solve for x. Right? And then we figure out what x is worth, and then we put it back into the equation, and we solve for y. Okay. Let's see what we've got. So also in the unit organizer, right, our steps for solving an equation, right, the first thing is to always simplify. Steps, right, the first one is simplify, and that's by distributing and then combining like terms, right? So that's what we're going to do first, right? We simplify, and then we isolate x, right? And then we'll solve for y. Okay, that's what we're doing. It's just 3 steps. So the first thing we have to do is simplify by distributing, right? And distributing, what we're going to distribute is this section right here. This is what we're looking at, right? We've got negative 2x plus 9. Negative 3 times, right? It's like saying I have negative 2x plus 9, 1, 2, 3 times, right? But then it's all negative. But let's figure that out, right? So we have negative 2, negative 4, negative 6 x's, right? 2, 4, 6, negative 6 x's. But then that becomes negative, right? Which is really going to be a positive. And a lot of us just know how to do this, right? We just do negative 3 times the first term inside of our parentheses, right? This is distributing, right? Negative 3 times negative 2x's. Negative 2x's, negative 3 times becomes positive 6 x's right here, right? Then we also have 9 negative 3 times, right? 9, 18, 27, but it's negative, right? Because it was a negative 3. Or we could also say, I'm just going to do negative 3 times 9. Either way, we're getting a negative 27, right? I wish I had wrote that in purple for us, right? But the pen's like breaking. Right? Negative 6 right there. However, we're not done, right? We didn't do anything to that equals 9, and we didn't do anything to that 2x. So those things have to remain inside our equation because we're not done yet, right? That was all we did there was distribute. All we did was distribute. Now we're going to work on combining like terms, which is why we had to make sure to bring down that 2x and the 9 to the next row. So like terms, I'm seeing over here on the left-hand side of my equation, these 2x's and these 6x's, they can be combined together, right? 2x's and 6x's, 2x's and 6x's together make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 x's, right? 8 x's minus 27 equals 9. This was all that could be combined. That's all we could combine, right? We cannot combine that negative 27 and the 9. We can't just straight combine them. We can manipulate the equation so that the negative 27 lines up with that 9, but we cannot like just straight combine them because you see how they're on opposite sides of our equal sign. So, because there's no more terms to combine, we need to isolate x. That's where we do something with this negative 27. We need to create a zero pair, right? What number are we going to combine with the negative 27 so that in a second we're going to have nothing here, nothing, right? Well, we need to add 27. Negative 27 plus 27 is 0, right? But to keep things equal, we have to add 27 to this side as well, to that 9, right? So what we're left with now when we combine everything again, we're just kind of simplifying again. We kind of like come back up to the simplify, and here we can combine these terms, right? But on the left, we've got only 8 x's left, right? Because that negative 27, we added 27 to it so that we could put an imaginary 0 down here, right? We disappeared that. 8 x's are equal to 27 plus 9. 27 and 9 is 36. And the last step, always, 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 is to divide by the coefficient, right? The number that is in front of our variable. Dividing by 8, that turns this into 1, right? 8 divided by 8 is 1 over 1. We're left with 1x. 1x can be written like this, right? We're not getting rid of that x. We're getting rid of the 8s. We're simplifying this. We're shrinking this whole entire problem down by 8 so that we can just figure out what 1x is worth, right? 8x is equals 36. The goal is to find out what 1x is worth. So what's 36 divided by 8? 36 divided by 8 is 4.5. X equals 4.5. Okay? Now, looking at this problem, to be honest, we could end it right here. If you were taking a test, you could end right here. The solution to this should be 3. But I am going to take a second to just input this value of x. I'm going to put it back into this bottom equation. I'm going to have to do it up here, I think. So, y equals negative 2x plus 9. We're going to substitute the value that we just solved x to be. X equals 4.5. We're going to put it right there, right? Y equals negative 2x, which is 4.5 plus 9. Let's use our calculator. Let the calculator do the work for you, right? Remember that as long as you're being super careful when you're inputting your values into this calculator, you can put this straight in, right? So negative 2 parentheses 4.5, close your parentheses, plus 9. Just be careful. Go back and make sure that what's written on your paper is what's on your calculator. Take 6 seconds to just double check. Because if you don't type this into your calculator perfectly, it's going to be wrong, right? But that's beautiful. That makes sense because negative 2 times 4.5 is a negative 9, right? Negative 9 plus 9 then is 0. So that makes sense, right? Negative 2 times 4.5 is a negative 9 plus 9, y equals 0. And bam, look at that. That's our y value. Remember that the solution to a system of equation is always written as an ordered pair where the x value comes first and the y value comes second. So here our solution is number 3.